Welcome back, guys. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly the 3 steps to letting go. Letting go of any negative emotion, letting go of any form of shyness and insecurity and fear and self-doubt and all that anxiety and the stress that may be polluting, affecting, limiting your life. This is one of the biggest questions I always get asked. How do I let go of my doubt, of my anxiety, of my fear of rejection and disapproval and this and that? How do I let it go? Because everybody will tell you, just let it go, man. Let go of that, argument, and let go of that fear, and let go of that stress. But nobody will tell you actually how to let go, because most people don't know how to let go. They think that letting go is in the mind. I'm gonna chant or affirm or pretend it's over, and boom, it's over. But your body never lies. In your body, your emotion will always show you the truth of what is happening subconsciously. This is why you go somewhere and boom, something happens, and in a split of a second, you get triggered. And you get anxious, and you get depressed, and you get the guilt and the shame, the embarrassment, whatever the reaction may be. That reaction is subconscious, and your body doesn't lie. Your body will show you the truth of what is actually happening deep in your mind and how you're actually perceiving that situation, right? And from that situation, you know how it goes, you react, you do this, you do that, and eventually those patterns, the subconscious emotion, the subconscious thing limit, hinder, and strongly affect the quality of our life. So letting go is an emotional journey. And it's all about letting go of the resistance in the first place that you have toward your own emotion, toward feeling the thing. Because most of us have been taught nothing about emotions. And we can go even further. Many people have been taught, don't feel because it's weak, it makes you appear a certain way, especially if you're a man and so on, right? But I don't want to go too much into that. The main point is that we are all starving for emotional self-regulation. We are all starving to bring that peace, that serenity, that healing into our life. And this is what this powerful book, Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins, beautifully does. And it has completely transformed my life a couple of years ago. Because like you, or if you are where I was a couple of years ago, you know nothing about how to let go. You try to process everything through your mind, but the emotion still freaking is there, no matter what you're trying to do and so on. The tools, the exercise, the writing that you try to do, the emotion is still there, and you still get triggered about the same old stuff. This is what I used to have, right? A lot of insecurity, a lot of anxiety, a lot of repressed shame and embarrassment and anger, and I was projecting all of that onto the world. And I was trying so hard to control and my thoughts and everything, but the emotion was overwhelming until I realized how to let go from that amazing book, which I strongly invite you to pick up and read. But if you don't have the time, those 3 steps is all it takes. I said earlier that letting go is about letting go first of your resistance about the feeling. Because understand this, let's say you are afraid of, you're socially anxious or about people, that social anxiety that manifests when you're at work, when you have a meeting or meeting new people or dating or approaching the opposite sex, something along this way, right? And you feel that fear, you feel that anxiety, you feel that stress. You have to understand that your mind is simply projecting that fear onto those people, those women, the work, the meeting, the board meeting, whatever it may be. But the real experience is not them. The real experience is in you. And what you really resist is not so much the meeting, the presentation, the work, or stepping out of your comfort zone. What you're really resisting, meaning you try to avoid, you try to escape, you try to brush under the carpet, is the emotion itself. Right? This is really what makes us feel uncomfortable, what makes us feel like, what is happening in my life, why am I so stressed out, makes us feel so bad, is because you resist the emotion. And so what you resist persists, what you resist accumulates, what you resist eventually over time, boom, explodes in your life. Yeah? So the key, very simply, but not that easy to implement because of how much resistance we've created with all our coping mechanism over time. The first thing you have to realize, is the first step you have to realize in this 3-step process. The first step is, I need to know what is it that I want to let go, which is very obvious, right? Whatever it triggers you is an opportunity for you to heal. So right now, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know exactly what are some things that bring fear, stress, anxiety, anger in your life. So usually that's straightforward. Now, here goes the second step. And this is about getting out of your head and getting into the body. The second step is to scan your body from head to toe, right? And simply notice the sensation that this feeling, this emotion is creating in your body, right? Because again, emotions happen in the body. When you have negative emotion, no matter what it is, it creates a contraction in your body. Positive emotions that we like create an expansion, meaning energy moving out. So whenever you feel a contraction in your body, when you scan your body, you notice, okay, where do I feel that sensation or emotion or contraction, whatever you prefer, and be like, okay, in my stomach or in my chest or in my throat or on my shoulder or everywhere. Doing this step brings you out of the head, out of the thought, out of the perception, right, which is the core trigger, the subconscious core trigger, and brings you into the body, and then brings us into step 3, which is the letting go step. All you have to do, and I said that, is simple but not easy, because there will be resistance, because your mind will try to get you out and out and out until you learn to surrender. But all you have to do is stay with that feeling, stay with the sensation in the body. It's not about the thought, it's not about the introspection, it's not about the insight, the reflection, all of that is great, but not in that moment. What you really need to heal, to let go, is to dissolve the resistance that you have to just feel whatever it is that you're feeling, regardless of how intense or uncomfortable it may be. And I know from experience, from my own personal experience and working with a lot of people, that this is a journey, right? So it's good to start with little things on a scale of 1 to 10, like 4, 5, 6 kind of thing, because otherwise it can feel very overwhelming and you may feel like it's never ending, and you don't get the sense of relief and so on. Because if you have spent a lifetime of accumulating experiences and stress and anxiety and all those emotions, you have to realize that those things are still there. They didn't just magically get up from under the carpet and whoop, simply because you didn't pay attention to it. You mean it's gone. Time doesn't heal shit. It's the movement of your mind and your consciousness that allows that healing. So the letting go, that's what I said earlier, every trigger is an opportunity to let go. So step 1, know what you want to let go. Step 2, get into your body, notice where do I feel that contraction. Step 3, go fully into it. Breathe fully into that sensation. Your mind will try to tell you, okay, let's do it tomorrow, let's watch some Netflix, let's scroll a little bit, let's go back to work. Your mind will try to get you out, because it's uncomfortable. But realize the simplicity and the beauty and so on is that your body knows exactly how to let go, just like your body knows exactly how to digest your food and do all the billions of things that it does every day. All you have to do is create that space. And when you surrender to the feeling, meaning you tell that sensation, it's okay for me to feel this way. I allow myself to be present with that feeling, whatever the feeling, the fear, the anxiety, whatever it is. The moment you surrender to that, the resistance drops. And what it signals to your mind is that you are actually okay, you are actually safe, it's actually okay. And you start to notice that after a little while you start to create a sense of relief, or a sense of neutrality, or that intensity of the emotion will start to just decrease, right? And that is the letting go. So how does that translate to whatever you projected, that fear and so on, right? Because you let go of the resistance to the thing you were actually resisting. What you're gonna start noticing is that how you show up in those places, instead of having that strong intensity of emotion and so on, that emotion might disappear, and how you act and how you think and so on, and what you attract also, but that's for another topic, will also start to change. Yeah? For example, I had a client try this over his fear of height. Let's say phobia of height would be more accurate, right? Even the thought, or even the imaginal, just imagining like looking down from a tall building or from a ladder or whatever, would freak him out, right? So nowhere near, but just even in his imagination, it would freak him out. So that was the gift, right? Pause, what a gift. And then start to feel that, start to feel that. And over time, he was just allowing himself to feel that anxiety and so on. And then he started to notice that in his imagination, he didn't feel that much, anxiety and so on. So then, an opportunity presents itself to be on one of those rooftops and so on, right? And he was like, okay, let me see. In the past, there was no way I would go, on the edge and look down, all kind of thing. There's no way, not even the thought, right? But he was able to go not to the edge, but super close to the edge and look around and so on, which was a massive win for him, right? He kept, the feeling came up again, and he continued to do the letting go along with other things in his life. But that was an experiment, right? And after a short while after that, the fear was completely gone, and he was able to look down and so on. And I share this story that may feel well, I don't have a phobia and so on, but it doesn't matter what it is. When I used to struggle with social anxiety and shyness and fear of not having money in my business, or being rejected, or going broke or not having enough money, no matter what was creating that anxiety or the embarrassment or the shame, everything is an opportunity to let go of something, a perception, a belief subconsciously that was there for a long time. And if you can go in the sensation and then let that sensation be felt, and if you can tell yourself and teach your nervous system that I am safe, I am well, it's okay for me to feel that way, it will dissolve. What you resist persists, what you look at simply dissolve. And so that emotional charge that was stuck in your body for so long start to dissolve. And because nothing is created or destroyed, but simply transmuted, that energy that was in a form of fear, anxiety, or whatever, now is a greater level of energy, meaning a greater level of consciousness, meaning it allows you for a different type of expression in your reality. So I want to repeat the 3 simple steps to letting go. Know what you want to let go of, right? Every trigger is an opportunity. 2, scan the body head to toe. Notice, where do I feel that sensation? Where do I feel that contraction? Step 3, feel it. When you feel it, you heal it. But don't try to feel it in a way, okay, let me feel it so you can finally let go and I can finally have my freaking break, right? If you go there, you go in there with an intention to try to bypass the process, and you're not accepting it, you're not feeling it, you're doing it with some kind of covert thing, and whatever you resist will persist. It doesn't matter how well you spin it, how well your mind tries to still be in control there. Notice that this is another one of those mind games, but you simply go there and you surrender. It's okay for me to feel this way. You also accept that part of you, and what you feel, you will heal. And you will see that after a while, you might feel like that intensity first rises before it collapses and go back to neutral, and you have the sense of relief. If you want to learn more about this, I strongly invite you to read the book Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins. Now, again, if you're struggling from trauma or deep repressed emotion like this, it's most likely so much better. I strongly advise you to go seek a professional, somebody who can guide you, somebody who can create a safe space, somebody who can really be there with you, right? But if you're working on anxiety, little things that happen every day in your life, this will radically transform your life. And this is something you have to teach yourself, how to regulate your own emotions, because your life will completely transform from it. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think down in the comment. If you have any questions, write them down. I will see you next time. Be well.